So I took the bag of lentils, or at least one of the bag of lentils, right? And I got it set up so that I'm going to get the sprouting started. So I got two different bags. This is red lentils. I already got that in like a real flat tray, already soaking. And I'm going to turn those into microgreens. So that's going to be a 7 to 8 day process on that. So it's going to be about a 7 to 8 day process on the red lentils. But on these green lentils, it's going to be a 3 to 4 day process, right? So I'm going to soak it overnight. Actually, both sets of lentils will soak overnight, and I have to change the water over the next 2 days. By the way, I'm drinking some hot tea to stay hydrated on this 29th day of my fast, technically. It's about 1 in the morning. I've been doing some cleaning up and some straightening up and getting things organized for the week ahead. But I wanted to start getting the sprouting process done. And you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it in terms of the timing. I just wanted to get it started around 1 a.m. because you want the lentils to soak for about 8 hours. Some people do 4 to 6, but I do about 8 hours on that first soak. So I'm gonna put these lentils, and this is the measuring cup that I'm gonna use. So basically what I'm doing is I'm measuring the lentils into a cup like that, right? You can get a pack of these cups at Walmart, right? You can just get a pack of those cups. And I use them for a variety of things, right? I got cups like that, and I got the smaller cups like that. I use these the most for measuring different things and organizing different powders and herbs and that sort of thing. But what I got here is I'm going to measure the lentils into sizes like this, right? Okay, so keep that in mind, right? So I'm measuring the bag, and I'm gonna use as much of this bag as I can. But what I did is, you know how you can go to Walmart and you can buy those little salad, you get the little canister of salads, right? It kind of comes in a container like this. Well, I clean that container out and I'm reusing it for sprouting, right? So there's no sense in going and buying something, right? And so then what I do is, so I kind of got my Ziploc bags, resealable bags already set aside. You can see how I've already done, one bag. I haven't put water in it yet. I'm measuring it right now. And so then I just open the bag and I just expand the bottom, and I'm just going to put it in here. So I do about 4 bags per section, right? So I'm going to have 8, right? Well, here I got 5. You can squeeze an extra bag in there. I think that's what I'll do. And so basically, once these lentils sprout, the way I got it here, this is essentially depending on if you eat these once or twice a day, right? You can put it in soup, you can put it in salad, or you just eat them by themselves. So you can combine them in different ways. Then what's going to happen is, so you got 5 days here, 5 days here, so that's 10 days overall. Or if you're going to eat them twice a day, right, then that's a whole week, right? You got just about a whole week worth of lentils, sprouted lentils. So basically, you just measure it out, and you basically measure it out, and you pour it into the Ziploc bags. I love using that word Ziploc, even though that doesn't apply here, because that's not what these are. These are resealable bags. Ziploc is just a brand, but that just shows you the power of marketing, right? And so I've never measured lentils like this before. I've usually just eyeballed it, but I decided to be more organized this time around. And I just want the same quantity of lentils in a very predictable pattern. And like I say, I got those red lentils in a similar size container overall, but thinner, right? And so I'm hoping in about 7 days that's going to turn into my first intentional batch of microgreens. I've actually made microgreens before by accident. Well, I allowed it. And these will also become microgreens as well, unless I refrigerate them at the point that they hit maximum sprout, which is going to be about 3 to 4 days. Once they hit maximum sprout, so I've just used up that bag right there. So now I'm not going to let the opportunity go to waste. And guess what? I'm going to put in these red lentils, right? So I'm going to put in these red lentils. Because in reality, I'm not picky. I'm not picky at all. I just like the taste of the green lentils as sprouts, right? And let's see here. So, and then that's just going to leave just enough red lentils for next week to start a new sprouting process. So, and I'm actually going to do a little experiment here that I've never done before. I'm just curious what's going to happen. I'm going to mix some of these red lentils and green lentils in one of these bags. We're going to see what happens when we mix the species variety. So I'm going to set these red lentils aside. Got just a little bit left, and I might do something extra with them based on a cooking show that I watched, where you don't have to sprout them. You can just soak them and then stir them up or something. I experiment with that, but if I don't like the taste, then there's no time wasted. Like I said, I'm on day 29 of this fast, so I won't actually be too concerned about the timing on this. But what I am doing now is I'm gonna get some spring water, and it doesn't matter what spring water you use, right? Okay, let me take that back. The spring water does matter. There's different qualities of spring waters. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use this same measuring cup, and I'm gonna use, hopefully I can use 3 times the amount in spring water per bag. But I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to use 1.5. And the reason why is because you're only trying to soak the lentils. And actually, I got enough water in that bag. So actually, it just depends on how much material you're consuming and what's the volume, the space that's being occupied. So I'm just going to do the one there per bag. That's going to allow the spring water to stretch too. So there's an economics aspect to this, right? So this isn't like one of those fancy sprouting shows or videos, whatever, where you got the perfect equipment and you got, all that stuff going on. I do want sprouting jars with sprouting lids, and eventually I will have those things over the course of time. But this is what you can do on a budget. This is what don't worry about that because it's just water, it'll evaporate. This is what you can do on a budget and still have healthy items at your disposal, right? Because this bag of lentils, let me see, I got the receipt right here. This bag of lentils, where's that on the receipt? Cost me $3. So I got $3. I got a $3 bag of lentils that can last me about 2 weeks if I sprout it right. So, yep, got that bag filled. This is the mixed bag. I'm gonna be very curious about you. Spring water. Almost used that quantity. I'd already, made tea with that. This bottle of spring water, right? Drank it regular water, whatever. So I've gotten my full money's worth out of this one. So now I'm going to switch to another gallon of spring water. And that's distilled water there. This one is not as fancy. So, this will give me a view. This one's more of your straight up store brand spring water. But I think it'll work just fine. And I'm going to use spring water at least 2 more times, right? So what you're seeing me do here, I'll have to do 2 more times. And what I mean by that is tomorrow, after this is soaked overnight, or some might call it the morning, right? When I get up, I'm going to drain each bag. I'm going to drain each one. And there won't be a video about that. I don't have the time for that. I do apologize. But I'm going to drain each one of these. I'm going to have it like sealed. Here, let me kind of quasi-demonstrate. So like I'm going to take this bag here and I'm going to just pour it like over the sink, and the water's all going to go out, right? I'm going to pour it over the sink. And then I'm going to pour in new spring water, right? And I'm going to let it soak one more time, right? And then after that one more time, right, it's going to soak for another cycle, right? And then so that's going to complete day 1. Then by day 2, I pour out that water. I'm going to pour out that water. And then it's just going to be, it's going to be like that. And then on day 3, I'm going to just pour in some water, but it's not going to soak. And then I'm going to just rinse it, basically. And so that basically soaks the lentils on day 1, and then soaks it again on day 1 after that first 8 hours. I'm going to let it soak for another 8 hours, right? So it's 16 hours total. This is how I do it. Right, and then after those 16 hours have finished, right, then what I'm going to do is on day 3, I'm going to put some water in just to rinse things through and nourish these beans. And then that's when it's pretty much done, and I can refrigerate them, and they're ready to eat at that point on day 3. But I might let it go at day 4 so that they can mature just a little bit more, and they'll be even tastier then. So that's basic way I do this, right? And the next step is I will put a lid on this, and I'm going to put this in a dark place. And you don't want sunlight hitting it. Now, in the past, I have let sunlight hit these. I let these sit out near a window, and they actually sprouted just fine. But I'm going to actually go by the recommendations and let these be in total darkness for the maximum amount of time during the 3 days. And then on that 4th day, it'll be in the light, right? So then for the other batch of lentils that I have, once I let those sit out for, once I let those go through their soaking cycle, it's going to be the same soaking cycle. On day 4 for them, Then I let them sit out in the sun for another 3 to 4 days, and then they actually bloom up and become greens, that small little greens that can be eaten. So that's it for this. I just wanted to get this process started. So by the time my fast is ended, I will have some basic sprouts that I can incorporate with the other elements of my diet, even though I won't be eating these right away because I will be coming off the fast rather slow, but these will be in a good mature state by day 2 or 3 post fast. So thank you for checking this out, and I hope you got a lot of good information from this. And if you have any questions, let me know, and search YouTube on some of these great sprouting techniques that are out there, and I'll see you later.